spirit right here, right now. Let me speak to somebody. Let me speak to somebody. Let me speak to somebody right now. Dang. Dream, 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 dream again, dream some more, and dream some more. This season, specifically, man, I'm gonna be honest, God has been placing on my spirit, Jaja, you gotta dream more, man. You gotta imagine, and you need to expand your mind. I got into a place where I didn't recognize I got into this place, y'all. And it was a place of just being kind of comfortable and being kind of content. And contentment is great in certain circumstances, but not in a state of where I was. I was just kind of good. You know what I mean? I was just kind of good. You know, life is going by smoothly. I'm kind of just coasting. But God showed me again, Jot, you can't really represent faith or talk about faith if you don't really understand this principle. And it's to dream, it's to imagine, it's to literally think beyond your situation onto new areas that you've yet to see. Places of growth, places of abundance, places of opportunities. And, you know, I had to ask God, I said, I hear you, but God, I'm kind of good, man. You know, I'm kind of good, man, kind of good. I know you got something for me, but, you know, I'm just let it show up in my life. You know what I mean? And so that's great, because what God has for me, I believe, is phenomenal. But God started to show me something. He said, Jaja, you need to dream and vision more intentionally. Like, I'm going to give you what I'm going to give you, but what is it in your heart right now that you want to see happen? You know, and believe me to work a miracle for, or just believe to happen. Maybe it's not for you, maybe it's for somebody else. But what are these things? You're not really content. You're just kind of afraid that maybe because you've dreamed big before and some things didn't come to pass, you're scared of dreaming this season. And I started laughing because, God, you got all of that from me just being content. Like, I never said it, I never spoke a word about it, but what I saw was this is what I was doing. There are things that I literally would like to see. There are places that I would literally like to go. There are things I want to do for my family. And God showed me, he said, man, you got to start dreaming. You got to start writing these things down. But he also showed me how to go about manifesting them, how to really see them more vividly, how to be very meticulous. You know what I mean? Just like when you go to the store, you have a favorite brand of chips, right? Or a favorite brand of ice cream. You're very meticulous with that flavor. You go to Subway. You know what you want to order. You don't just out order anything that's healthy. Now, even if it's a healthy meal, you get specific things. It's very specific. And I was scared to be specific with God. Like, God, man, I want to earn money this way, and I want to help individuals in this way, and I want to live in this particular place, overlooking this. You know what I mean? I want to be a part of this community. I want my projects to look like this. You know what I mean? And I got scared to be very meticulous on how I saw the vision. And what got to me was a verse that came in the book of Acts. God sent me to the book of Acts, and I'm reading about the lame man who was lame for 40 years. And he went to this temple called Beautiful. And every day, you know, he would go to that gate. He had a friend take him to the gate, and he would ask for money. That's all he would basically expect to get. He would just expect to get money from people who were going into the temple. He was a beggar. And as I'm looking at that spirit, let me speak. As I'm looking at that beggar who was just expecting to get the same thing over and over, I looked at that from a form of contentment. Like, man, I'm just kind of like that beggar just expecting to get the same thing over and over and over again. You know, I may get it, I may not. But that's not the level of faith God wants us to have. He was showing me, Jah, I'm not that type of God who's you just expecting to give me whatever it is. Like, wait, what is it that you really trust in your heart? I want to see, Jah, if you truly believe in my ability to show up in your life. I want to see. And so God sent me on a mission to start visioning things that I had to bring back up out of a vision book and really start to write those things down and write them in detail and start to look, start to search. And what got me in that search, it was fun because I'm visioning things beyond my current circumstance. And what was great about it was, okay, I was motivated and I was fired up. But then as I started to look at these things that were in my heart, I recognized, whoa, I ain't really believe it. And the reason why I was content with the circumstances was because deep inside, I didn't believe it. I didn't even know I had this disagreement with God going on in my heart. I didn't know that I wasn't really believing for God to show up or do the things that I placed. And so no wonder why they haven't shown up, some of the things. And then I recognized the things that I truly actually wanted, truly desired. God has always shown up. He's given that stuff to me. The areas of contentment, he's giving it to me. And just like the beggar, I was getting the little change that I was really praying for in my heart. I wasn't praying these things out verbally, but I was praying this stuff in my heart. And then I recognized something. The beggar met two people, Peter and John, that day. Peter and John, disciples of Christ, they walked by him. And he asked them, just like he asked everybody else. He was expecting coins, silver. And Peter looks at him, literally tells this man to get up. And this individual, not only because he was expecting silver and gold, God blessed him with something else, he was able to get up. He was able to walk again. He was healed. Like another blessing came out of an expectation. And so what God showed me was, in our expectation, there's more that's gonna come out of the initial blessing. Like, yeah, you could be content still getting blessed in this way, but out of an expectation that's placed in your heart for God to show up, when you do this thing, check out in that same chapter, when the people in the temple saw that this lame man finally got up, they finally started to believe in this God. And what I recognize is your beliefs, the things that you desire, the things that you expect God to show up for, when they do come to pass, God gets the glory. You really get to allow other people to see how, God is actually working in your life. You know what I mean? They really get to see it, right? Because your life is sometimes the only example people get to really see how God is moving. If contentment is how you're working, okay, they're going to see contentment. But if you truly believe that God is someone who believes that if you can have faith as a mustard seed, like we say, like the word talks about, and that faith can move mountains, why not be very detailed and meticulous? What if it doesn't come to pass? That's cool, but at least you couldn't sit there depressed thinking like, man, what if? And God really wants you to ask for these things. He really wants you to go out and stretch your faith, truly believe for something great. Some of us have great, phenomenal plans. Another testimony is like, when I started believing for this book that I'm writing, I didn't know how it was going to come about. I just knew that I was writing a book. Not the old-fashioned way of just sitting down, just writing a book. Nah, I'm literally was writing a book. And when I was in New York, I didn't know I was writing a book. I was just writing. When I went on that 14-day fast, no food, the Spirit was just speaking to me. I'm just writing. And I didn't know I had a book. And then it was just the idea at first, right? It was just the idea. But check this out. This is what happened. Now in Austin, I finally meet up with a woman who was able to give me the skeleton. She talked about, it was an author who talked about a skeleton. She gave me a skeleton for the book. So not only have I written many pages already for the book, over 50, 60 something pages in now, God finally sends me the skeleton. Like this idea has produced a skeleton. Hear me out. This idea has produced a skeleton. That's, to me, after the meeting, when I recognized what happened, I was scared. I was taken back because I recognized something that was just up here, a thought that was up here, produced a skeleton, making this thing more real than I can even comprehend or imagine or even understand. And it's after that meeting where I recognized that, dang, I need to really start being more intentional and more very meticulous about my dreams, about my goals, about the things that I want to actually get done. I got to take initiative and go towards it and pray on these things. And so what God has shown me is to start doing these exercises. What I do now is, the other day I was led to take these plastic plates, and on these plastic plates, I writ down, I think it's like maybe 17 or 18 different goals of mine. It's like a vision wall. And I've drawn out, well, not drawn out, but I've written down these goals. You know, some have been from, I mean, there's a lot, you know, paying off my debt, paying off my parents' debt, you know, letting them go on vacation, like trying to really retire them when they should be retired right now, you know, from traveling the world to, you know, $12,000 in reoccurring revenue a month, from getting a Camaro, a vehicle now that I'm in Austin, finally getting back in a car, but not just any car, a car that I actually desire, that I've been desiring since college, really, since, you know what I mean, since what, 2011? And so, but I finally feel it and I see it's coming to pass, being very specific on how I want to earn my income, you know, from videography, photography, to speaking, you know, to an online coaching course, to this Faith platform where I really want the globe to really see God working in their life every day, and just asking God, how do I do that? You know, profit from the book that I'm releasing, and I'm praying on it to be done this year. You know, just being very specific on how I want to earn my income. And so I have like 17, 20 different plates where I'm just writing visions, I'm writing goals. And as I'm writing them, also what I'm doing, I'm writing bullets on why do I want these things? What do these things bring? What does this Believers Paradise community bring? Why do you want this community? What is it doing for people? And now the next thing that I'm doing today is I'm going on Photoshop and I'm finding pictures that represent these things. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna print these out in like 4x6 images, and I'm gonna put them on the wall. I'm gonna show y'all the wall when it's done. But it's to take the idea up here and bring it into reality here, even if it's not the actual thing, but it's the idea. The brain doesn't understand fake versus real. The brain doesn't understand that. And so it's bringing those ideas that were up here and putting them down on paper, and then also taking to the next step in visualizing, stimulating your visuals. Whatever you see, you will get. And so today's Bible study I'm reading, and literally in the book of Acts as well, if we keep going, you know, the guy by the name of Stephen, some people say Stephen, you know, he has a great, he was a man of faith. And he talks about Moses. And what I got from that story of him talking about Moses was that God literally will promise you things that are not in your reality. You have a promise of things that he says this is for you, and it's not currently in your reality. And many times our reality just contradicts the very vision and the promises that God has placed in our heart. And we're like, man, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. And so we don't do it. And I remember doing the vision boarding and just thinking about things that I want to get to and accomplish. And I remember kind of trying to belittle the vision and the goals because I couldn't see how in my current circumstance I would get these done. And God is like, you are still struggling with relying on your own ability to do what I'm gonna do for you. You know what I mean? You are relying on your own ability still to do what I said I'm gonna do for you. You just have to have the vision. Like you can't. It's like right now if we close our eyes and we vision and imagine, and we're scared to even just think about the thing that we want. That's the scariest part. And so when God is just like, think about it, dream about it, just imagine it and pray for it, it's kind of hard to do. And that's not how we're supposed to operate. This is about getting to new places, new experiences. You know, your stuff may not be materialistic. It may not be money, but you know, it may be something else. It may be a greater relationship with your family, a greater relationship with your spouse. It's something that you want to improve on and get closer to a deeper relationship with God. Well, how do you do that? What's the vision for that? You know, I don't know what your vision is, but what God is saying, my leaders, is to dream and keep dreaming and dream some more. But now write it down and make it plain. Like see that vision and do other things. You know what I mean? Do other things. See the vision. Make some cards. Make a picture. Find some pictures of it. Print them out. We don't got to use magazines no more. The internet has the exact picture that you have up here. Or draw it and get detailed with it, even if you can't draw. Or go somewhere and take a video of it. Look at the video daily. But God is showing me that I need to show my leaders right now how to